on. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mr. Soul of a Man, 50 to the 4. Coming at you once again, man. Yeah, your spiritual consultant extraordinaire and author and writer, ladies and gentlemen. So, today we are talking about moving in silence and winning in public. Yes, moving in silence and winning in public. So, this is basically saying that don't throw all your ideas out there. Like sometimes I used to get like overly excited about, just necessarily don't let the cat out of the bag until it's time to let the cat out of the bag. Seriously, everybody doesn't need to know all the moves that you're making initially. Seriously, they really don't, because those people are only going to come around when you're winning and you're celebrating and when you can naturally do something for them. Where were these people when you needed help with whatever it is that you needed help with? You were looking for some kind of job and they quote unquote had the hookup and then they disappeared. You found the job and it's like, oh man, I was trying to get in touch with you. It's like, really? My phone number hasn't changed. I'm sure you had the number, seriously. So just to say that everybody is not supposed to go with you. So let me say that again, everybody is not supposed to go with you. And in this sense, closed mouths do get fed. Seriously, because you know what you're doing, you know what you're working on, you have a feeling, something inside of you. You have something inside of you that's telling you that to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep doing what it is that you naturally have to do. And people say, well, oh man, I haven't seen you around lately. You're acting a little funny. Nah, funny is when people get on stage and do a whole stand-up act. That's funny, seriously. Man, what is that? More like stand-up track videos. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you're watching, hit the screen, give me those little hearts and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, so but where were those people at, man? When you truly needed them. Like, it was like just like dead silence. It's like you told a joke and you in your mind it was funny, but nobody laughed. But you told that joke to the right people and they thought you were the most funniest thing in the world. And they were like, hey, you know what? I have this club and blah 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 blah. There you go. You're on your winning streak. You're on your winning streak. You have so much unmatched and untapped potential that is going to be put out there. And when you're cruising and when you are going to new heights and new stratospheres and you're rubbing you're rubbing shoulders with the not just the right people but the righteous people that say, hey, you know what, I'm going to give you some advice. So I'm going to introduce you to I want to introduce you to some people because I see something inside of you and you leapfrog. Your rise to success is faster, and people are going to look at you a little strange because for whatever reason you didn't know, you didn't have the connections that they had, but yet you were still able to get not in just the rooms that they're in but the rooms that they can't even get in. I mean, how you like that? I mean, look, if I like it, if you like it, I love it, plain and simple. But it's interesting when I give these messages because I feel like these messages are not for everybody. These messages are just for people who who want to have that winning and go getter spirit or mentality. People who maybe you won in the past and maybe now you're going through something, but not maybe now you're an underdog, so to speak. Seriously, maybe now you're an underdog, but your time to rise to your victory is now. Not to the victor goes the spoils. Not everybody is supposed to go with you. Not everybody's supposed to know the moves that you're making. And it's like, well, how did you get in here? How did you get a job there? Who did you know? Who did you talk to? And when you wanted that person to come with you for whatever reason, they went their own way. That's cool. Hey, go do your thing. Maybe you'll find success over there. But I'm finding my success over here, and it's nonstop. That's why it says moving in, building in silence, and winning in public. So they see you constantly winning. It's like, well, hey man, your business, your business seems to be thriving now, and you're, I see you as a guest on all of these major podcasts. It's like, man, how are you doing that? And you just plainly say, hey, networking, seriously, just networking, just be very vague about it, because again, unless that's somebody that's really close to you and you know that they're really putting in the work, maybe they need a little help, so you throw them a bone. It's like, hey, let me give you, I'm gonna tell this person about you and I'll have them get in contact with you. Seriously. But, um, you know, this is the seasons are changing. The seasons have changed already. So, those of you who are putting in the work and you're constantly putting in the work, they say summertime bodies are made in the winter. So even though it's cold outside and it feels like crap out there, there are still people going, waking up early in the morning, dragging themselves out of bed and going to the gym. And when you see them in a few months, like when it starts to warm up again, you see their pictures on the internet. You're like, man, what world, how did such and such get in such great shape, and blah blah blah. Maybe they skipped the holiday meals and all of that good stuff. And so they started to take care of themselves. So that's basically all I'm saying here today. Is just start taking care of you. Start taking care of the things that you need to take care of to get you to where you naturally need to get yourself. Hey, what is going on, ma'am? And thank everybody for joining me. It is very, 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 yep, just like was it Christopher? Wait, hold on. Chris. Looks like Christopher Dean 003 said. Exactly. See, you work out like Ted motivated me to work out. Workout yeah, I like to, if I when for me, if I'm thinking about going work out, I have to get up and go do it, because the more I sit, the more I'm not going to feel like doing it. So I have to get up and move, go. I like to get it out of the way. I like to get in, I'm not in the gym trying to be cute. I like to get in there, get it done, and go home. Seriously, because I'm not in there to play around, or I'm not in there to play around or mess around, or any of that stuff. My focus is my focus is where it needs to be at. What works for me in the gym works for me in the gym. What works for you naturally in your life is going to work for you in your life, to with however it is you're eating, and you're dieting, and taking your vitamins, and all of that good stuff. But the important thing is for you to continue to put that work in, continue to ride it out, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, continue to, continue. Yeah, and I'm great. That's great, and I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of me for that. Do I go to the gym every day? I do not. I am not one of those people. I have so many days I do it. I do it. I get it out the way. I rest, and the next week I get back on it. And that's just what that is, and that's just how that is. But I try to continue to stay consistent with it because I know that I'm gonna need, that energy to, not just feel my best, but to, not just to feel my best, but to always generally look my best as well, because that's the thing. You're coming to that realization where you're putting the best of you out there, and you're constantly working, and you're constantly putting your best foot forward. Haters be damned. I'm not, I'm at the point, if somebody has an issue with me, I'm gonna walk up to them. I don't care who they are. I'm like, look, we need to have a conversation. I'm not that person at this job that's gonna be punked. I'm not. So you got a problem with me. I don't care who you are. We need to talk about this, and we need to get it squared away now. If you feel like, and I'm not threatening, if you feel like we need to walk to that parking lot, and we need to handle it, how we need to handle it, let's go. If not, stay out of my way. Plain and simple. But anyway, but it's just that we're living in times where you got to be bold out here, man. I'm not saying go be violent and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, people will. It's like somebody said last night. Was watching this young lady's live, and just because sometimes people aren't going to make it easy for you. So a lot of times we can make it easy for ourselves by not, like, I don't go on jobs and tell people, I'm sure a lot of jobs now try to look at your social media and all that stuff. But anyway, I don't tell the masses, oh, hey, I'm doing this, I've done that, I've got this coming up, unless it's people in HR and I need the time off. Other than that, everybody else, they don't need to know because they're too damn nosy. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm just here for this paycheck. That's it. And to do whatever it is. Yeah, just kick him in She said, yeah, I prefer to mace me, folks. Yeah, seriously. They, like I said, people out here will try you. There's people out here that are just jealous of you for whatever reason. So there was a young lady that told a story about how she worked at this Christian bookstore. People were coming there for certain things, and there was another lady that owned it. She was a nurse, and that was her business, and she had all of that. She had whatever going on. And the other young lady was like, this was a few years back. I was just getting started. She said the lady walked up to her and said, you know what? I'm not intimidated by you. This is the owner telling the employee that. So what is the owner seeing in that employee, or what is it that's missing in her life that she felt like she had to tell her that? So don't think that people can't see that greatness that's inside of you, no matter what it is, wherever you are, however it is, that you're starting. Do not think that people can see the greatness inside of you. Don't think that they, just because they have a certain title or whatever like that, they're the doctor, you're the nurse, but they see all the patients like you, and all of the administration and staff like you. They hate the doctor, and people don't, it's like people's that ego, boy, that psyche. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. You just go there and you just do what you're there to do, and something about your calmness, your coolness, that you just have. They can tell that you've got that it factor, and something about that, boy. Ooh, it really pisses them off, But I'm like, good. Let it boil inside of you. Let it fester so that you can continue to be inside whatever that is that's inside of you, that you feel less than, that you're looking at me, and that's bringing that out of you. That's not my problem. That's your problem. And that is just, that's just naturally what that is. So again, continue to do what you are doing. Continue to put that energy into what you need to put that energy into. Continue to pray. How I say pray. Continue continue to pray, continue to cry out, continue to believe in in yourself, continue to lift yourself up, no matter what, because you have things to do. You do. Can you stay longer today? No, I can't, because I have stuff that I need to do. I told y'all before what my schedule is. I'm here from this time to that time, and when it's time for me to go, I'm walking out that door, and that's just what that is. You got a problem with that? Let me know. Think that sometimes people are afraid to speak up for themselves, and you have to let people know. You definitely, it's something. Sometimes, people would tell me, "Hey, there's just something about you." I've always heard that my whole life. There's something about you. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would have been afraid to come online and, talk about this, or, talk about this, or talk about that. Hey, what is going on, Miss Callahan? How are you, ma'am, this morning? So, years ago, I would have been uh that line. That's the line of the day. I prefer to just make some mean folks. I love it, man. I really do. But years ago, I would have been afraid. To say um what is one of the main things that people are afraid of? Public speaking, speaking in front of people. Why? Because it's almost like you got to bare your soul, and people are looking at you. They're, they're judging. I don't. At this point, I don't care. Really, I'm going to speak my piece, and I'm going to speak the truth. Is all of this going to be relevant or relative in your life? Nope. But just grab what you need, and there you go. For me, till I, continue to build the tribe of people that are really gonna, that soul nation that's gonna really come in and support me, because real recognizes real. And that's just naturally what that is. When people are very are very, truthful, and they're honest, and they're honor the bond and the friendship. That's why I don't use that word. Yes, there are people that, that are friendly. Maybe they're friendly on the job, and in society. Maybe you see them, going to maybe that's that one person at the restaurant, your favorite go-to waiter, waitress, that you've that takes care of you, so to speak. It's always a good person. There's still good people like out there, no matter what you'll see on the news. But I don't use the word I don't use the word friend a lot, because those folks, especially in my life, are far few and in between. But there are people who can be friendly, at certain points, and they come in and do whatever they need to do, within your life, and then those people disappear. Then they're going to be your friends, those people who you have that bond with. Friends can be family, and then they can be people who are close to you like family. There's that there's that brotherhood, there's that sisterhood. That's just what that uniquely is. And that's just how that goes. But continue to build and work in silence, while people think, oh wow, that person fell off. We haven't heard from such and such in a long time. Then all of a sudden the bottom drops, and it's Happy New Year. 2023 comes. All of this stuff starts to come out. They start to see you posting about this. They start to see you, winning here. They see you, like, I don't know, shaking hands with your local politician or some celebrity, or whatever that is. They see you traveling all over the place, and they're like, their minds blown. It's like, oh, that's such and such I went to school with, and that's all that they can see you as is just such and such that they went to school with, even though that you're not that person anymore because you're thriving. Maybe they were the man or the woman in I don't know middle school. They're still riding high off of that, or they went to top school and got this degree and now they're a lawyer and that makes them feel great and that's cool. But you're doing things now that supersedes that. And now you're feeling great and that makes them feel some kind of way. Maybe um you can speak 5 different languages now, that makes them feel. I was watching I forgot the name of that movie, man, but I was watching this movie with this guy. Like he took this pill, and it made him like super smart, something like that. So he was going out with his ex, and so they're sitting in a restaurant. And at first, she's the successful one, and he's the struggling writer, and he writes this best selling book, and he's doing great in life, because of these pills. But you know, it makes him the ultimate form of who he is, and he is just this badass monster go getter, and he lets nothing stand in his way to stop his flow, his success, so to speak. But to get to my point, the waitress comes and hey, blessings to you too. So the waitress comes and he's speaking to her in full Italian, and she's like, she's looking like, like, when did he, like this dude was, blah 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 blah, and his life was like down the crapper. Now he's speaking full Italian, because this man is amazing. He's always been that, but it sometimes it takes maybe it just takes you to see that, and once you see that, other people around you are gonna, other people around you are gonna start seeing that. Hey, what is going on, ma'am? I saw you in that video doing your thing. Yeah, man. But in regard to that, so there's an ocean of opportunity that's coming towards you. Um, I would say go and get it. Because I would say go get it because you deserve every bit of, especially if you were somebody who people never thought could get to certain levels. People probably look at me and say, "Oh, this guy can't, never put out a book." But when I wrote my first book, it was a book of poetry, and there were like misspellings in it and all of that stuff. And hey, thank you for the little musical notes. Reminds me of that Doctor Strange movie when they was doing the magic stuff. But anyway, so when I wrote my first book, people, you know, um, the local people supported me. I'll say that, but the book had some misspellings. So I went back and corrected that and all of that stuff like that. And eventually, those people, they disappeared. They didn't really buy the second or the third book or the fourth one. But I know they're still looking. I know that they're still there in the background. And these are the people that are going to come running and say, "Oh, I always knew that you can do it." So and I never thought that book with the misspellings could take me on podcasts and on the radio, and and doing like these TV shows, and just to naturally get my name. I never thought I'd be doing this to have my own podcast. I've interviewed celebrities, and my story is just beginning. And I'm telling you that to tell. I'm saying that to say that you never quite know where that journey is going to take you, but you know that the journey is taking you somewhere, and that you are this amazing somebody, and where you are, you're like, nah, this ain't it. And you can make a decision. You can make a decision in your life, today, before the end of the year. You don't have to wait till January, December, the last day of December, 12 midnight, wherever that is, wherever you are in the world, you don't have to naturally wait and say, hey, whoever you are, Facebook user, you don't have to wait to you don't have to wait to change things, in your life. You can, it is a mindset, man. It is a mindset. Winning feels good. It really and truly, are there people that support me? Yeah. And like people say, they're gonna be the people that are going to support you the most in your endeavors in life, especially if you're on a road that very few people travel. It's a select few of people that are only supposed to do things in this world. And I think that's what um, it's almost like social media puts this fantasy out, like, well, anybody can blah 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 blah. No, that's just not the truth, man. It is a chosen few people that can go out here and do things, that can become the greatest of movie stars and singers and inventors. And if you have that in you, it is really time for you to put the stuff out, because the world, people, whoever, somebody out there, though, somebody tried to put your fire out a long time ago. They told you, oh, well, that'll never work. You shouldn't do this. Maybe you should just go get this job and just settle, because, nobody ever makes it out of this town. Maybe somebody told you that, and maybe somebody said, hey, everybody's trying to, everybody's trying to do what you're trying to do. That's why I said sometimes you just need to keep it to yourself, instead of going out there. And I used to be one of those people until somebody had to remind me. Everybody's not who you are. Everybody doesn't have your heart. That's just what that is. It is the truth, and the truth will always set you free. Seriously, it'll set you free from broken relationships. It'll set you free from the naysayers. And if you gotta let them go with tears in your eyes and the wind in your face as you drive in your brand new BMW or Ferrari, hey. And for me, I hope that's a drop top. But all I'm saying is that, it's time for you to win. And everything is pushing you, everything is pushing you, everything is pushing you towards that goal, towards those goals, whatever it is that you believe in. If it's God and Jesus, if it's your ancestors, or if it's the Orisha, or if it's whoever it is that you believe in, they're all surrounding you. All things work for the greater good. Seriously. Do we understand everything about the other side? We do not. But know that there's a lot of power, and they instill that power within you. And you speaking the right words over your life, and plus putting that work in, that's how the miracles happen within your life. That's how the magic happens within your life. So it's all in what you want. It's all in what you want. Somebody out there is about to have breakthrough after breakthrough. It's time for you to go out there, and it's time for you to go out there and sign those contracts, to be bold enough to go and do it. Somebody out there wanted to get a physical storefront. Somebody says, well, it's all about the internet now. Nobody really drives anywhere. Yeah, Walmart is still around. So go tell them that people don't drive anywhere. You can use your technology and have it set up at your storefront. There's so many different ways that you can you can use this today's technology to your advantage. And you don't have to be afraid of anything that's new. And yeah, it's all gonna feel new, because you're gonna feel renewed in it. It's like somebody once said, shit, man, if you can't crawl, then walk. If you can't walk, then run. By all means, you got to keep moving. And Dr. King said that. So, we got to keep moving. And there's more. There's more. Uh, people get so lackadaisical, not nowadays, because maybe somebody went ahead of you and did something great, and you're like, well, that's all of the work that needed to be done. So I'll just ride. I'll just ride off of that, and then I'll be okay. Then things start things start to change, and things start to you know, man, I'm telling you, um, the greater and the greatness has always been there around you, surrounding you. Maybe at one point you could feel it, you couldn't feel it, but now you feel it again. Use that energy, ride. Like they used to say in the movies, we ride at dawn. So, hey, listen, it is time for you to get out, and it's time for you to ride. Man, it's time for you to ride because you have your greatest and your highest self in front of you. And I'm not, this is beyond, 2023 is going to be a miraculous year for you. And I'm not the only person saying this. I've heard this, you when the spirit when people who are really tapped in spiritually, they start to talk, listen. Your ancestors start to talk to you, they start to move things and shift stuff around you, or God starts to show you things, pay attention, really and truly, pay attention, deep, man, I'm telling you, it's um and especially if you've really been if you've been doing the work, if you've really and truly been doing the work, something inside of you has got you very excited, and you're very antsy. It's like if when you're a kid and somebody's like, hey, let's go to the toy store, or let's go to McDonald's, and you just start flipping out. It's like, McDonald's, nah, I eat that food, is so garbage. I had McDonald's the other day, and I'm like, it's I was like, no way in hell. But it's just to say that, man, it's just you're getting this euphoric feeling inside of you, and you're getting excited. So keep that same energy. Put that energy into what it is that you're going to do. What it is. And the beautiful thing is that it's going to fit. It's going to fit like gloves in your hands, and it's gonna these are going to be the gifts that are going to keep getting, talking breaking of generational curses, generational wealth, that's just going to keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. But moving forward, you're going to be well taken care of. You are. If they say move, move. You're like, well, I don't have. Everything is going to be, everything is going to be aligned. Everything, everything is going to, everything is going to be aligned. Your divine radar, your GPS is going to be able to land your plane every time. Um, Somebody out there is going to, whatever it is that your clientele is going to be very, very, very high vibrational, in tune. So it is time for you to naturally put those courses. they're saying to stay on course, and it's time for you to put those courses out there. Go out, learn. Could learn and grow as you're going along. Do you probably know it all? You don't. But just continue doing what you're doing, and everything is formulated. Everything is formulated around you. I'm also getting the crowning achievements. There's it's somebody has so much stuff coming. It's gonna be, you're gonna have to make decisions on what you want and what you don't want. Some stuff you could store it away uh for a time, but not a long time. But there's just gonna be continuous work that there's just going to be continuous work that you're going to be doing. There are going to be people, of course, there are going to be people that'll be mad and whatever, but forget them. There are going to be more people that are going to be happy that you came and that you answered the call than those people who are haters and suck, and they're in their trivial little lives, and they're wasting away because they didn't want to make the decision to go forth and to shift those gears to do what it is that they naturally had to do. So it's all on you. It's all in you. It's all there. A lot of it is laid out. Not all of it, because there's just more to come. That's all I'm saying. Continue to work in silence. Continue to move how it is you're moving. You know, you're on a very aligned, destined biblical path right now, and everything is you're at this level. You're matured so much. You have to give yourself some you have to give yourself, like that song by Rihanna. She says, how about a round of applause? Just being grateful, man, for who you are, because you put on this amazing show. Only you can do that. When you leave that job, it's never going to be the same, because you're that person that goes there and makes everybody feel great. And they you don't say in, you put your 2 weeks notice in, or if you don't, however it is you do it, and you quietly leave, it's your last day, and you let people know, hey man, it's my last day. And it's like it takes the wind out of the place, because it's like you're that individual that goes there and makes it what it is. And people, they knew that, and because there are so many soulless people walking around that are just collecting paychecks, and that's all they're doing. They're just going along with the status quo. These are people. If you hear people talking about the matrix, these are people who are just checked into the matrix, and they go along with everything they see on TV and all of that stuff. But your mission, your protocols are far beyond what they could ever possibly imagine. And you were put here to supersede and to go forth and to do things even greater and beyond your own imagination. But I will leave you with that, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new here to the Soul of a Man channel, Soul of a Man 504 channel, please subscribe, share this out. I may be back on here later on. Sometimes I want to come back on, but it's just like, I don't know. I just have to. Uh, yes. She said, take a bow. Right. You need to take, man, look, be happy for you in your life. You know why you should be happy? Because you didn't go crazy, and you didn't give up, and you didn't check yourself in to some type of insane asylum, because it is very crazy out here. I'm not saying that. It is crazy out here. Seriously, it's very, very crazy out here. But be particular in who you are. Watch the people around you. Always keep your spiritual protection and vibes up. By the way, have you noticed how everyone who hears Rihanna sing? Yeah, so I was one of those people. I think the song is on a certain frequency that. Yeah, that song she's talking about. That song by Rihanna. That song was it? That it's on the Black Panther song, the second Black Panther movie. That song "Lift Me Up." It reminds me of those gospel spirituals that you would hear at like funerals and stuff like that. And somebody unpack, because it's when you see the movie, it is so freaking emotional. And man, I'm telling, man, it took me to this point, because I would watch the movie, and and then I would try to listen to the song and be like, nah, I'm not there yet. I think it's because of the tone of the movie, and the movie was so, people say what they want to say about it. That movie was very deeply ancestral. It was deeply, 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 was deeply, deeply, and ancestral, and about family loss. So It really, really was very, very powerful, very moving, very touching. So, but yeah, anyway, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here because I got some other stuff I need to do. I may jump on here later on tonight, folks. But um, if you need any assistance on your spiritual journey, email me or hit me up. If you want to book your spiritual consultations, I'll be more than happy to help you. Um, yeah, if you'd like to buy one of my books, just go to my website, www.soulofaman504.com, or go to Amazon under Demond Alvarez, and yeah, get a book. But all right, folks, and a lot of you are about to go to overlook to overbook. I'm telling you. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep moving how you're moving, and I'm telling you, all of these amazing things are coming. But all righty, folks, Solo Man 504 is always my peace, folks.